Trump just told CBS he doubts the U.S. will go to war with Venezuela. But here's what he's not telling you. The U.S. has already deployed fighter jets, warships, and thousands of troops to the Caribbean, with the world's largest aircraft carrier, USS Gerald R Ford, heading toward the Venezuelan coast. At least 64 people have been killed by U.S. strikes on alleged drug smuggling boats since early September. So when Trump says he doubts there will be war, what exactly does he call what's already happening? Asked directly if the U.S. was going to war with Venezuela, Trump told 60 Minutes, "I doubt it. I don't think so. But they've been treating us very badly." Notice the qualifier, "I doubt it," not absolutely not we won't, just "I doubt it." And when pressed about land strikes, Trump refused to rule it out, saying, "I'm not going to tell you what I'm going to do with Venezuela, if I was going to do it or if I wasn't going to do it." That's not reassurance. That's a threat wrapped in ambiguity. Trump wants to keep all options on the table while pretending he's not escalating toward war. But the evidence tells a different story. Since early September, the U.S. military has launched strikes on vessels in the Caribbean and Eastern Pacific, killing at least 62 people and destroying 14 boats and a semi-submersible. The Trump administration says these attacks target alleged drug smuggling, but has yet to present any evidence to the public to substantiate its claims. Let that sink in. We're killing dozens of people based on allegations we haven't proven. The UN High Commissioner for Human Rights, Volker Turk, called the attacks and their mounting human cost unacceptable. But Trump keeps escalating, and now he's playing word games about whether it's technically a war. Here's what makes this even more disturbing. Trump said last week he would not necessarily ask for a declaration of war to proceed, saying, "I think we're just going to kill people that are bringing drugs into our country, okay? We're going to kill them." No trial, no due process, no international law, just kill them. That's not law enforcement, that's extrajudicial assassination. Trump administration officials have privately acknowledged that the intensifying U.S. pressure campaign is aimed at ousting Maduro. So when Trump claims it's about drugs, he's lying. Trump rejected suggestions the U.S. action was about ousting Maduro, saying it was about many things. Translation, it's about regime change, but we won't admit it publicly. The Trump administration has been quietly laying the groundwork for potential military action inside Venezuela for months by tying Maduro to drug traffickers and cartels that officials have designated as terror groups. This is the playbook. Label the target a terrorist, claim imminent threat, bypass Congress, launch attacks. We've seen this before. It led to decades of failed wars in the Middle East. And Trump's own military leadership is alarmed. At the Pentagon, some military lawyers, including international law experts within DoD's Office of General Counsel, have raised concerns about the legality of the lethal strikes on suspected drug traffickers. The admiral overseeing U.S. Southern Command announced he is retiring, a clear signal of internal dissent over these illegal operations. But here's the real contradiction that exposes Trump's priorities. He's willing to kill dozens of people without evidence in Venezuela. He's deploying the world's largest aircraft carrier to threaten a sovereign nation. Yet when it comes to the Epstein files revealing a billion-dollar trafficking operation, silence. When 20 Epstein victims beg Congress for release of documents, cover up. When his own appointed federal judge blocks unconstitutional deployment of troops to Portland, he tries to circumvent the order. Trump has no problem using military force abroad without congressional approval, but he can't be bothered to release files about powerful people connected to child trafficking. The priorities are crystal clear. Threaten foreign countries to look tough. Protect the corrupt and powerful at home. Trump called Venezuela's Tren de Aragua gang the most vicious gang anywhere in the world. He's using gang violence as justification for military strikes. But let's be honest, If Trump actually cared about stopping gang violence, he'd invest in communities, support evidence-based interventions, work with international partners on extradition and prosecution. Instead, he's firing missiles at boats in international waters and calling it counter-narcotics. Maduro has called for new military exercises by the Bolivarian National Armed Forces, which has some 123,000 members. Maduro mobilized over 4 million soldiers of the Bolivarian militia across Venezuela, saying the country was at maximum preparedness for a possible American attack. Venezuela is preparing for invasion. Colombian President Gustavo Petro said the strikes are being used by the U.S. to dominate Latin America. Regional allies oppose Trump's aggression. And what's Trump's legal justification? A Justice Department legal opinion appears to justify an open-ended war against a secret list of groups and potentially offers a pretext for unilateral U.S. military action against a broad array of targets in the region. Secret lists, open-ended war, no congressional oversight. This is authoritarianism disguised as drug enforcement. Remember Trump's track record. He praised Putin and Xi as tough, smart leaders. He said he doubts we'll go to war with Venezuela while simultaneously deploying massive military force to the region. He covers up Epstein files. He tries to occupy American cities with National Guard troops. And now he's killing people in Latin America without presenting evidence or seeking congressional authorization. Venezuelans are increasingly discussing the U.S. warships in the Caribbean Sea and the fear of a possible U.S. attack. One Venezuelan said, "Venezuelans live in anxiety thinking about what might happen. We don't sleep well." These are real people living in fear of American military aggression. And Trump's response? I doubt there will be war, while refusing to rule it out and continuing deadly strikes. This is how unauthorized wars begin, not with formal declarations, but with incremental escalation, vague threats, extrajudicial killings, and presidents who refuse to say what they won't do. Trump's already killed over 60 people. He's already deployed the largest warship in the world. He's already authorized covert CIA operations. At what point does doubting there will be war become irrelevant when you're already waging one? The question isn't whether Trump doubts there will be war. The question is, why is Congress allowing him to conduct military operations without authorization? Why are we killing people based on unproven allegations? And why does Trump have time to threaten Venezuela but not to release the Epstein files or follow court orders in Portland? Hit subscribe and demand congressional oversight before Trump's doubts turn into another endless illegal war.